we did have $400 million shorts or longs, not shorts, longs liquidated last week. Okay, one of the reasons why we fell back down to 69,000. Some person, some whale or some market maker decided to liquidate the longs, but we are waiting for the opposite. We want liquidate the shorts, and they are piling up in a big, big way. And I'll get to how big in a second. But man, right now, we got like what, $9 billion worth of shorts that's waiting to be liquidated. I just can't believe that the shorters, the bears, actually have so much. I mean, I don't see how they have so much courage to be shorting Bitcoin, especially where we are now. You know, even though we fell down a little bit, we're still about 69,000, guys. So again, I don't know how the shorts or the bears or whoever, market makers, I don't know how they could be piling on the shorts right now. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Especially if you look at everything that's going on. Like, for example, last week, even though we had, you could say, a slight down week, a little bit, just because of the last few days. But look at the inflow for ETF. I mean, the Bitcoin inflow into the ETFs, right? You look at just last week alone was almost as much as the entire month of May. Take a second to think about that. Just 1 week in June, the first week of June, took in almost as much as the entire month of May. Yeah, that's a lot. And we're starting in a week, right? This month could absolutely be enormous in terms of ETF inflow, considering how hot it was just last week, right? So, I mean, come on. How could you be shorting Bitcoin when you know that there's a supply shock happening? The ETFs are buying by the billions per week now. Once again, like, seriously, how could you be negative on Bitcoin? In total, okay, the ETFs in America and around the world, and we have more and more being released like seemingly every week now. Every country seems to be allowing ETFs to come to be, right, and getting improved. We're seeing that like almost every single week or every single month now. But right now, what exists holds over $70 billion worth of Bitcoin, and that number keeps on going higher. And these are just ETFs. They don't include just regular holdings. There are a lot of companies that are just buying Bitcoin, implementing Bitcoin strategy, just like Michael Saylor, right? 70 billion though. 70 billion in 3 months. Now, some of these ETFs have been out longer, but majority being held, you know, they came out less than 3 months, right? And you know what would be crazier is, last week, one of the big things is Roaring Kitty coming back and live streaming. And, GameStop right now, obviously the stock is a lot higher than before. There's a lot of commotion. But just imagine if GameStop implemented a Bitcoin strategy, just like MicroStrategy, right? We have a lot of companies now that are fully embracing in the US and around the world. Why not GameStop? Imagine, because we're waiting for Roaring Kitty to do something with crypto, but it seems like he just wants to stay on the sidelines for now. But imagine the company that he's supporting is now involved with Bitcoin. Imagine if CEO of GameStop came out and said, you know what? We're going to take advantage of the situation. We're going to sell, maybe a little bit more shares, right? And we're going to take the billions that we raise and go buy Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin on our balance sheet. Imagine if you had that scenario happen. It would pump GameStop like crazy, and then Roaring Kitty would be behind. Now he would be inadvertently supporting Bitcoin. Think about that as the best of both scenarios if you think about it. We'll see. Maybe maybe GameStop has the foresight to do that. I mean, others on Wall Street are doing that and it's working for them. Why shouldn't they do it? They should be embracing Bitcoin. Last week was the second highest weekly close. So I put that in a thumbnail. That's pretty significant. People didn't realize that the week before was actually the highest weekly close. No, I mean, not the week before. Last week was the second highest. The highest was before that was sometime like a few months ago. But regardless, my point is we are sitting pretty. People only look at 73,000 and look at how we're like 4,000 points away. But even if you look at that, it's like less than 5%. On average, okay, if you're looking at the moving averages or the weekly or the monthly, whatever you're looking at, Bitcoin continues to go higher and form higher highs, okay? We are consolidating now here and everything is catching up and we're not going to be sitting here much longer. I've been saying that for a while because you just look at everything that's happening right now and you look at the fundamentals, I mean, they are strong as ever. And you could argue that it's the strongest in history. You look at Bitcoin balances, for example, you know, still tanking, going down to pre-2017, 2016 levels now. And back then, we didn't have a lot of crypto people. Miner reserves are down. Wallet addresses are still up. You got all this massive FOMO into ETFs and companies that will be embracing Bitcoin and so forth. I mean, the fundamentals of Bitcoin really is as strong as ever and arguably the strongest it's ever been. And if you look at the charts, hey, yeah, we had about 3 months of sideways movement. But when it's over, just like all the previous times, when it's over, we will not be going sideways. We will be seeing that next leg up. And that next leg up, again, everyone's trying to predict where it is. Okay? Could be mid 80s, like 85, 86. Or maybe we blow through that and go right to the 90s. Right around 95,000. I mean, there's just nothing above 73,000. So people are just guessing. But above 73,000, we got nothing holding Bitcoin back. If you want to comment on anything I've said in this video, make sure you head over to the Roundtable. The Roundtable is a new social media platform created for conversations. And best of all, it's spam-free, bot-free, unlike here on YouTube. And you could have conversations with me and others like Altcoin Daily, Scott Melker, Mauro Nafal, and many others are joining daily. And you also get rewarded in tokens for doing so. So check out the new Roundtable. Click the link in the description below.